First month 1990, end of the line for the old 60 series. So that was the last year, and I think I haven't seen one later than that in month wise in 1990. So that was it, and this is the end of the line. GXL HJ60, and what a perler it is as well. Now Robert, the owner of this vehicle, has had this vehicle in the family since the beginning. He was there, he remembers being a young lad with his dad in 1990, picking this bad boy up from the forecourt, and it's been in the family ever since. It's been in storage and undercover for a long time now, but unfortunately Dad's passed away, and it's now the family mission to get this thing back on the road, get some nostalgia going. So it's an absolute pearl. This paint, believe it or not, is actually original. It's just beautiful. You wouldn't believe it, honestly. There's a few little scuffs on the trims, on the mud. What are they called?
Flares.
Flares.
Still wrong.
Okay. There's a few little blemishes on the flares around the place, on every single one actually, and then you've got there's a few marks on the factory front bumper and the rear bar, and he is going to be addressing those in the near future. He's going to be talking to our painter, who's going to sort those out for him. But look, it's in here for a good reason, to keep up the maintenance before they start using this again as a family. But a big problem with this and Robert's wife, it was uncomfortable in the summer because it was just an absolute sweat box in there. So being a GXL, I'd imagine that they would have had aircon. This is the first GXL I've seen so late, first month 90, without aircon in it. And you know, Mr. Landcruiser yard here, we dismantled a lot of 60 series, and fortunately we had all the components. We put a new condenser in the front, but other than that we were able to cobble together all the parts from the wrecks in the yard. And good thing about the late 60 is that all the plugs are there taped up in the loom, so you can just, there's a small patch loom that we've got out of a wreck, and it just plugs straight in with a little controller on the front of the evaporator box, and away you go. It sounds simple, but it wasn't that simple, because we've put a parallel flow condenser in the front of this one. It's a bit more efficient with the R134A gas, and we've had to just fabricate some brackets to make it work. All new lines. We've had to replace the TX valve. We've had the evaporator out and cleaned it, so it's going to work as well as it would have done when it came out the forecourt, man. So let's go right from the front. Listen to the old square headlight being in 1990. And we talked about the bumpers, factory bumpers, absolutely beautiful. We're going to have them restored. The wheels. Now we've got some BF Goodrich all-terrains on there with the chromies. Now they just look sick. Just got that real period look about it. We got the factory side steps. These probably would have been a dealer fitted option at the time. Chrome mirrors that are probably about as mint as I've ever seen, and they're the genuine ones as well. There's no aftermarket Taiwanese crap on this one, that's for sure. Other than that, there's not much going on. It's so stock that there's not really much to talk about. The chrome strips are all in beautiful condition. It's just a testament to looking after one of these things and keeping it garaged. It really is. Look, let's go under the bonnet and have a look what we've done with the aircon and how mint it is under there. Right, check it out under here. This has not been jet washed or pressure washed. This is how it is, man. There was a couple of little oil leaks from the rocker cover that we had to address, but it's just beautiful under here. I don't know where I'm going. Right, just look at under here. This thing hasn't been pressure washed or cleaned. There was a little bit of oil residue just coming out the rocker cover here. We've replaced the gasket in there, but you can just see you've even got all the anodizing still left on all the metal components, like the injector lines and the heater hoses that go along the top of the engine, the bolts that hold down the rocker cover. And you know when an engine hasn't done a lot of work, when you still see the original factory blue paint clear as day on the side of the engine. There's a bit of tomfoolery going on down in the where the second battery usually would. So what we do, and everybody else does, is relocate the overflow bottle to the side here, and you can bolt a factory battery tray in there and reverse it. But Robert's dad, in his wisdom, has decided that he wanted to cut a tray into the inner guard here. So it's something we're going to be looking at for Robert in the future. We're going to get a second-hand inner guard. Hopefully we'll find one the same colour and replace it in there, bring it back to factory, because it is a bit fugly under there. So anyway, you can see the new aircon compressor here, all the new lines. We've got the new receiver dryer, and the big thing really was fabricating the new brackets to go to take this parallel flow condenser that we got down the front here. That's a lot more efficient, get that temperatures down. It gets hot here in Queensland, especially in the summer. So yeah, there was a bit of mucking around. We've got a new radiator in the front here because it had all blown out at the bottom. You could see evidence of coolant spilling out the bottom of the radiator. So that's all brass core, brass tanks. So that's about as original as you're going to get. Under here, that's about it. Just check out how beautiful it is. Just take it in. Check it out. I can just imagine Pablo Escobar himself being chauffeur driven around Colombia with his big security guard driver in the front there with a bloody Nissan top on. But anyway, just check it out in here. This is Rocco Stocco as it came out of the factory. The seats are in perfect condition. You've got the old sheepskin covers on the front seats to keep them as mint as possible, and Robert said they've been on there for a while, so I don't want to actually have a look, but I'm sure it's absolutely beautiful under there. Everything from the headliner to the dash pad, and look, just check it out over there. You've got the original tape deck, double din tape deck in there. You can just imagine Pablo telling his mates how sick it is with auto reverse, you know, checking what, I don't know, we would have had some Lionel Richie tapes or something back in the day. Unbelievable, unbelievable. But just look, we got the carpet. It's original carpet from the day. The dash, there's nothing extra going on there. Now this is a GXL, but there's a lot of spots in the dash you can see that have got missing switches and stuff like that. But I think it's an absolute beautiful vehicle, a testament to Robert and his family. And this is so cool that this is going to go on, do so many travels in the future. Even the back of this thing is just mint. About as mint as you can get in one of these old girls. Just check this out. I love this. This is Robert's dad would have done this back in the day to give, if he was towing a box trailer, to give the people a bit more vision of him. Some little lights up here from back in the day. Very, very cool. Robert's actually talking about getting rid of those, but I don't know. I think I'd leave them. Also something very cool is the original sticker, Strathpine Toyota, where it was bought back in 1990. Very, very cool. Still on there. Please don't get rid of that. That's fucking stylish as hell. Something not so cool down here is the homemade tow bar, which I don't know if I'd trust too much to tow much, because it's bolted to the rear of the chassis there and not a lot more else. So you can also, it's already got a bit of an angle on it where he probably broke a bit too hard and it's bent it. But anyway, we won't talk about it anymore. So a couple of other things it was into Mr. Landcruiser for was pretty much general maintenance. We've done, like I said, oil leaks, we've done swivel hubs, we've done suspension, bushes, not much else really. It was just maintenance, full service, comes in here for a service and maintenance, drives out with aircon. How cool is that? Future plans for this thing, like I said, Robert's going to be taking the front and rear bumper and the flares. You're going to go and see our painter on the way out here today, and that will just make it look proper schmico. There's not much else to say about it. It's just a beauty. It really is. HJ60, first month 1990. Beautiful.